Hey guys, Everyday Aficionados here with another beer review. Today we're taking a look at Founders Breakfast Stout. Founders is out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. It is an Imperial Stout. It is 8.3% ABV and 60 IBUs. And this one's available from October to December. So we got a seasonal here. More specifically than an Imperial Stout, it's a double chocolate coffee oatmeal stout.
That sounds so delicious.
So this one is brewed with flaked oats, bitter and imported chocolates, Sumatra and Kona coffee. The brewery claims that it has an intense, fresh roasted coffee nose with a frothy cinnamon colored head that goes forever.
You know, Founders, if you've ever seen their stuff, they always have these very detailed portraits on there. Yeah, it's always a portrait of a person or something, right?
Not all of them, but most of the beers, they have these like interesting portrait style of labeling that they do. And nothing different with this one. They got a portrait of a baby, and he's at a table.
And he's got his bib there, and he's got his bowl. I'm assuming it's breakfast, right? Baby eating breakfast?
Yeah, the bowl it says Founders on the bowl, and he's sitting there, and he's spoon-feeding himself.
He looks very content with himself, too.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to what's in the bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is he having himself some breakfast stout?
I don't know.
That's a little irresponsible. I don't think Founders should be promoting that kind of activity.
I love this label.
Yeah, I do love their illustrations. They're really nice. And it's cool, too, that they have, like, a tradition of doing things a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you'll always know a Founders thing. Even if the logo wasn't there, you'd know that was Founders just because of the illustration. Ooh, yeah, that really is a cinnamon-colored head. Sort of a cinnamon chocolatey kind of color to it.
Alright, so for the appearance...
Very dark.
Yeah, it's black as night. I can't get any light to shine through this one.
Yeah, me either.
The head, espresso colored, some big bubbles around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
We split it up, so it was hard to get a big head to form, but it wasn't too bad. It didn't last very long, though, but
yeah. Again,
we split it up, so it was hard to really get a good head to form. Good lacing, and there's even some alcohol legs on this one. First thing that I noticed when I put my nose in this is coffee. Big, roasty coffee smell. I think it almost smells like a fresh, roasted cup of coffee.
Very fresh. Incredibly fresh smelling. In fact, it smells more like ground coffee than it does brewed coffee.
I do get a little bit of like a sweetness from this one, like a malty, chocolatey sweetness. I get like a bittersweet chocolate. There may be a little bit of like an earthy herbalness to it under everything, but big chocolate, big coffee.
Coffee forward. Ready to taste?
Cheers.
Cheers. That is way more complex than I initially expected it to be. I thought it was just going to be your typical roasty stout with like slight hints of coffee, because like most stouts smell like coffee, have a coffee quality to it, but they don't all taste like it. So it can be misleading a little, but this is definitely like, you definitely taste the coffee in there.
And it's not just coffee though. I definitely get like a sweet chocolate to this one.
Yeah, it's like that kind of dark chocolate that has a fruitiness. Very rich, incredibly rich.
The oatmeal imparts a beautiful mouthfeel in this beer. It's the oatmeal that makes it really like viscous and thick. It's like silky. It's really tongue coating too. So there's definitely a full body on this one.
The finish is just excellent. All these different coffee flavors, the fruity chocolate.
The finish to me is really roasty, a little bit like astringent almost.
Slightly bitter.
Yeah, slightly bitter. There's definitely some hops in this one. I definitely get a little bit of like an herbal, earthy quality, but it's really like under all this big chocolate, big coffee.
And yeah, I'm definitely tasting hops. It has a bitterness that can stick to your tongue if you sort of let it stick around your mouth for a little while.
But all these complexities kind of blend. I think the coffee and like the herbal, bitter type hopness kind of blend together, because you kind of get the bitterness from the hops a little bit, and like the bitterness from like the coffee. But there's definitely a decent astringency to this one. Even when I first drink it, I get like a little bit of like the coffee first. That's what I noticed at first, and then it kind of like smooths out to like that nice, like velvety, chocolatey, sweet, malty deliciousness, and then it like finishes off with a little bit more roasty astringentness.
Yeah, all the different ingredients seem to like build off of one
Mm-hmm.
another, in an interesting way. Because coffee's kind of bitter, dark chocolate's kind of bitter, your hops are bitter, so it all works together really well.
But there is a nice like sweet, malty chocolatiness too that kind of like holds all the bitterness in check.
It's really smooth too.
Oh yeah, the carbonation is kind of soft, but there's not a lot to it. All right, so we've got 2 empty glasses here, and that means unanimous recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start first. This beer is amazing to me. It's incredibly complex, perfect sipper, relaxing to drink. All of the flavors blend perfectly. It's just a very well executed and well crafted beer. This is one of my favorite stouts, and this is one of my favorite beers, easily. Founders did an amazing job on this one. I couldn't imagine a stout being much better than this. I couldn't expect anything more from a stout.
I love this beer too, obviously. And I think it goes beyond just being a regular stout. For me, something that really stands out is its freshness. You know how IPAs are supposed to be fresh, so you get all those flavors really packed in there. That's what this feels like to me. The coffee and the chocolate and even the hops feel fresh, like that were just packed into that bottle. And it's brilliant. The flavors come together so well, and it packs such a punch of flavor that's just impressive. It's a really impressive drink, and I love it. I enjoyed myself with it, and I would definitely pick this up whenever they had it. So
Definitely, I agree. You guys must try this if you haven't tried it yet, especially if you're a stout lover. If you're a craft beer fan, this is one of those ones you got to try. If you haven't, go out and get yourself some when it's out. They come in 4-packs. It's not too expensive. I think it's around $13. Do yourself the favor and pick it up. Every aficionados with our Founders Breakfast Stout review. Unanimous recommendations. Give it a try. Until next time.
see you later. I'm ready.